you make sure all the stuff in my car gets wet?
Yes.
Be safe, hon.
Where was your baking?
Okay.
Big flies.
Yeah, like a week ago I was filming Sunset, and they were so bad that I literally was holding the camera like you are now, but my knees were bent, and they were just like inundating all. That's all.
What are we doing today?
Yeah. So we had a bit of a rough morning weather-wise, but we're looking a lot better now. Today, Cleo, who's behind the camera right now, she and I are going out to Site 8, and we're going to be doing some sonar mapping. So I'd like for you to come along with us, and we'll have a good time. I'll show you around the boat, and it'll be fun. I got my pizza tray. I'll tell you that story in a little bit. All right. Multi-beam. It also should be better the further towards the All right, we're on site. It took like, what was it, like 45 minutes? Mm-hmm. Conditions are improving. We're gonna knock wood on that one. So we're gonna put the pole down. If you come over here, this is our beautiful little sonar. So we're gonna be putting this thing in the water, hopefully deep enough, and we'll set everything up, make sure it's all clipped in and happy, and then we'll do a little shipwreck survey and do the tests that we need to do. So this little orange line is probably the most important thing on this whole pole, and it's tied directly to the sonar, which is the most important part of this whole ordeal here. So we usually just we'll tie it and it runs all the way up through the pole, and we clip it off to the boat itself, just so that if something really catastrophic happens, we still somehow have a line on our sonar. All right, we're hooked up. This is now all rotated down, and we basically just got 3 cables. There's a cable direct to the sonar, and then there are 2 GPS antenna cables. The sonar cable runs down to the sonar, and then these GPS antenna cables run up this pole to our 2 antennas, and then they both run back here through our cowl vent through hole into here, which is the kind of the interface box, and then we have a small computer in our kit as well as an inverter if we need to run off of DC power. So let's power everything up, eh? Mm-hmm. Did you do this?
What?
This picture?
What's with that?
I saw it and I just totally. Are you sure it wasn't you? No, that's me.
No, I have no idea.
Actually,
I blame Katie.
I was gonna say, yeah, I bet it was.
That smells
like Katie McFerrin.
Katie McFerrin.
Yeah, so we're all powered up. Everything's looking pretty good. I'm just gonna dial in. These 2 things here are our thresholds. So right now you're looking at the seafloor below the boat. And this little green line here is the stabilized output of the sonar. So you're seeing the return of the sonar across the sea bottom. And then down here, we're actually getting the reflectivity of the sediment that's getting back to the sonar. So this is kind of like the intensity of that reflection. And so you can see our positional accuracy. Because we have a base station that's like a mile that way, we're at 2.5 centimeter positional accuracy X, Y, and Z. And now we're going to just do some circles and stuff like that and dial in our roll and pitch and probably our heading a little bit accuracy as well. No, I'm not paying you. I'm not paying you for jack shit. You get paid enough. Actually, you don't. You don't.
Let's talk about that.
So one of the things that I needed to look at today was our power consumption, because even though we have a really nice setup on this boat, we are going to an island in the Caribbean for a project pretty soon, and we're going to have to run everything off of some marine batteries. So today we need to get some wattage calculations for this whole system so that we know how many marine batteries we need to get, if we need to charge them while we're running and stuff like that. So fortunately, this Jackery 1000 that we have has a little watt meter. a power meter. So I'm gonna be kind of looking at that through the course of today to try and get like a startup voltage or a startup wattage and a sustained wattage so that we can do some battery type calculations. Wow, our power is in the 130. It's probably like 125 average. So divide by 0.9, whatever that is, like probably 140. Jesus, you're gonna see every single pore on my face.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're out here recording Sonar.
Wow.
Okay. So we got the Sonar all like configured and everything. Right now, Cleo is kind of sitting in the desk, but we've got basically the Sonar operator station with some side scan imagery there on the screen, and then you have the swath on top. And I am doing the recording here from my phone, which is just connected to the same network as the Sonar, so I can record everything and see the mosaic on my phone here because I forgot the tablet. Yeah. But right now, so there's on Site 8, there's a lot of these concrete rubble mounts that were deposited purposefully by the state to build some structure for fisheries. And what we're going to be going over in a few seconds here is the Golden Eagle tugboat Shipwreck. It was intentionally sunk by the state of Delaware for this artificial reef. We're at Artificial Reef Site 8, which is within the Delaware Bay, and it's a taxpayer resource, so it's all public information, where everything is and what everything is, so that you can fish on it. All right, so you're starting to see the ebb tidal scour, or the flood tidal scour, excuse me. And right here, pretty soon, we should be seeing the actual wreck pop up on the screen. So now our nadir, this is the water column right here in the middle. So that's getting bigger, meaning that we're going to deeper water. And it's like I'm clipping, yeah, there it is. So this is it. It's kind of laying on its side here. Because that is the way that we view it in the Sonar screen. But the squiggles in here are actually just boat motion. We just went straight over the top of it. So I'm going to finish out this line and we'll move over a little bit and I'll show you it from the side. So here she is. This is probably a little bit hard to see here, but we have got here a small, very small cell phone size bathymetric map of the Golden Eagle. So this is in a tidal environment in the Delaware Bay. So what happens is as the tide floods, which is going northwest here, you'll get this scour patch or a deeper spot behind the ship. And then as the tide ebbs, we get the scour patch on this side, the deeper spot on the downdrift side of the ship again. So that's why you see these two kind of opposing scour patches. But you can see that the one from the ebb tidal or the southeast side one is slightly larger and maybe slightly, yeah, it looks like it's slightly deeper. And now what that means is that we have an ebb tidal dominated environment, which is because it's a river. This is a bay that has outflow from a river. So you can think of it as the tide opposing the river on a flood tide and then a tide going with the river on an ebb tide. So you're gonna get higher current velocities going in the southeasterly direction, which is why you see a slightly larger scour patch on that side. The other day, Evan, Chris, and Christian and I were, and Jojo and I were loading some batteries onto the Daber because he's putting a new big like battery bank in the Daber. This was like sitting in the water, and he was like, "Man, that looks like a piece of like vacuum hose or something like that," or like. And I was like, "I don't know," like. And then Evan goes like, "No, I think it's a piece of trim." And we're like, "Oh, okay." And then Christian goes, "Oh, it's a piece of trim." And then like Chris goes, "It's a piece of trim." Jojo just goes, Jojo's like, "Oh, it's a piece of trim." And we're all like, Christian and I are just like, what the fuck
People really need some time off the boat. Like,
and Evan goes, "It's a pizza trim."
the little dinghy.
And Jojo just took the bait. And he's like, "Nah, it's a piece of trim." We're all just like, Jesus Christ, dude. Jojo, man, like. There's the turbine. We just ran a couple lines, just did some more testing with the power output, and I'm really happy with how the system's running. So we're gonna take everything, power it all down, and head back in. Yeah, that was a pretty chill, very fast survey. Thanks for coming along, and we'll see you soon. Turned out to be a really nice day.